Can you smell it? What does it smell like? Come have a look. Hello everybody, Chris Waters here, and today in this video I want to show you how to cook one of my favorites, certainly my son Eli's favorite part of a deer, and that is the heart. This is venison heart. In fact, this is a Sambar Hind's heart. So a female Sambar deer that I shot yesterday with my friend Marnus from the Australian Hunters Club. And today I want to show you how to break it down, how to cook it up in a way that I like, and I think a way that you'll like as well. So the first step in the process is to clean the heart. To go through, put it under some water, and make sure you clean out the various ventricles, the different sides of the chambers of the heart, as well as the various valves and tubes. Make sure you remove any blood, especially any clotted blood that's dark. Clean it all up, and then you're ready to start trimming it. So the first thing to trim is this upper layer of fat on the top of the heart. You definitely don't want to eat this. It's not very nice. So we're just gonna cut it off. I've got this beautiful knife here from Swift Steel and Forge. This is made by Kieran, a fantastic Australian blacksmith and hunter himself. So we're gonna use this, and essentially all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut the top of the fat off and slide my knife like this. Make sure I'm cutting and removing all the material so that there's no fat left over. Now, if you have a dog, make sure you keep the fat for your dog, because I guarantee you they will love you forever. All right, so with all that material out of the way, now we have a really nice clean top now. And what we can do is basically chop off all of this excess inner kind of workings, which is basically the valves and all the stuff at the top. So now we're left with like a really nice, clean looking heart. You can even see the different valves and chambers inside.
Now we're ready to cut the heart. For our initial cut, we're going to use this natural seam here as a guide and cut all the way through to the inner chamber.
Now, the reason I also like cooking the heart and why I get so much satisfaction out of it is because cooking a heart is like a silver lining. Because essentially when you've shot an animal and you haven't shot through the heart and the lungs, you don't get that immediate satisfaction of a really clean, ethical kill. So, but you do preserve the heart itself, and you can still eat the heart. So the good thing about it is that even though you didn't get the satisfaction then during the kill shot, you get the satisfaction afterwards, so you can eat this heart. So essentially now I've cut it down here, and I've actually, you can see the different chambers here. I'm actually gonna cut through those as well, and just place my knife inside them, and then all the way to the edge, and slice up. So again, find that gap in there, put your knife in there, and slice down. Essentially what we're doing is we're creating fillets, heart fillets. Now once you've done that, we still have a little bit of cleaning left to do, and that essentially is removing these heartstrings. Have you ever heard the expression, you know, you're tugging on the strings of my heart, on my heartstrings? Well, this is where it comes from. These little elastic type bands essentially hold the heart together and give it integrity, so that when it is pumping and it is moving blood through the various canals, it doesn't kind of overstretch or understretch. It kind of keeps and maintains its size and also its shape and also its function. So we're going to remove those. So what we're going to do essentially is run our knife underneath the strings on both sides and then just nip them off like so. This is the point as well, you can make any final little cleanups. For instance, if you've missed fat like I have here, you can obviously just go through and just slice that off. You want these looking as clean as possible, just leaving that nice red meat. All right, so now we're left with our 4 essentially fillets of heart meat. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cut them up into strips. Now I like to cut them at about 1 centimeter wide strips. The idea being that you don't want to cook this very long. Essentially you want to cook it on high for a couple of minutes maximum, like a minute probably. So it's important that you have thin slices of meat. So let's go ahead and dice these up now into strips. Now obviously the more uniform that you cut these, the easier it's going to be when you're cooking them. You're not going to have to watch them as closely. I'm terrible at cutting hearts uniform, so we're just going to have to make do with what we've got here. So with our heart meat strips cut, we're now ready to assemble the final ingredients before we start cooking. The first of these being some eggs. These are some beautiful eggs that were laid this morning by my girls outside, so thank you very much for that. And then we've also got some breadcrumbs here, because what we're going to do is we're going to create a little egg breadcrumb batter combination that we can put into our crispy strips to make them delicious. And essentially this is going to compensate for some of that texture that people don't like. So let's start doing that with the eggs.
Now we're ready to put some butter into the pan and crank up the heat. And don't feel bad about adding more butter either. Butter is amazing. Once your butter has covered the hot pan, place your heart strips into that greasy goodness to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, making sure to turn each strip at the halfway mark. Now, I want to surprise my eldest son Eli with his favourite dish, so I made sure that the dish will be done just as he arrives home from school. So, with the addition of some cracks of pepper and salt, the dish is complete.
You smell it?
Yeah, smell it from the
What does it smell like?
Yeah!
Come have a look. Yeah. You ready? Shall we eat?
I've been waiting.
Here you go. Go for it.
Thank you. I'll try a little bit.
You try a little bit? Come over here. Good. Magnifique.
It doesn't even describe it, does it?
You want some? It's my happy place. I'm not even using my knife and fork. Good?
What do you think?
Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of the other hunting and cooking content on this channel. Also, if you want to learn how you can harvest your own animals so you can feed your family clean, healthy meat, check out the Australian Hunters Club, australianhunters.com.au. Till next time, happy hunting.